guys? Wheat, what it do? Welcome back to the Wheat Field, y'all. Welcome to you. Hey. It's 12:25, and it's all the way live. I don't know, y'all. Don't click off. It's just me. We're a little silly. Goofy. Just a little bit. Just saying. What up, y'all? Sweet. Thank y'all so much for tapping in, for coming back to the Tears of Wheat Tomorrow show. I'm feeling like getting going. Like taking off running or something like that. Washing, cleaning. I don't know. Something rubbing up against each other. Spirit's kind of doing like this. It almost feels like friction or two things rubbing up against each other. So I don't know what that is. Could be some sort of friction. They're giving kind of like an affirmation on the friction. Yes. So let's see. We're going to write down friction. And we have our little pad that we started writing messages from things we were getting as of, I think it was yesterday afternoon. We were sitting and we were all talking with my brother's mother-in-law, my sister-in-law's mom, and my mom, and we were just having conversation. And we were talking about monetary policy or issues or something like that. And I can't remember. Oh, we were talking about writing off a loss. Like sometimes businesses will write off their losses because the benefit that they get from writing off the loss is more valuable than trying to figure out what to do with the material or to collect or resell or something like that. So spirit, when we heard it, it hit the spirit, and spirit said exponentiated value through writing off the loss. And I was like, wow, that's powerful. Because earlier in the day I was having a conversation with my bro. Thank you so much for tapping in. I appreciate you. I don't know why I can't see comments, but if you said something, I can't see it. But thank you for being here. The spirit, we were talking, me and my brother were talking, and I was telling him that I was wrestling in the spirit with some things that had happened in my past, like investments in relationships that I've made, property, assets, all these things that I may have invested into people and relationships and different things, where the spirit was telling me to invest that thing into self. Put it in a 401k, put it in an IRA, buy another monetary vehicle or something like that to make sure that you're okay. And I disregarded that spiritual advice a couple times. Hey, Miss Barbie, thank you so much for tapping in. Thank you guys so much for being here. I disregarded that spiritual advice, and I invested things into relationships, and those relationships did not work out. And then I had to start from where we were at, and recover and rebuild. And so when I was telling my brother this story, like, man, that last one just really did it. Like, everything we had was in our home and our investments. We pulled it all out. We sold, we invested in a relationship. Everything was going good. Thought everything was going to be great. And everything fell apart. And now it's like that rebuild all over again. So we were feeling down. We were like, damn, this is the one thing in our life that we really kick our own ass about. Like, it's one thing that we really get stuck around. That guy is you. The the we really get stuck around this one event, singular event, where thank you to the Alpha and Omega for bringing the message and helping us bring forth this testimony to Tarot. I pray it's helpful for whoever hears it that may be going through a similar situation, that you can resonate with the general principle of the message for your own sake, longevity. As we learn the lesson, we give it out to you, so that if you are experiencing something similar, then you can draw from this testimony. We were really, really down, like thinking like, damn, we really screwed the pooch on this thing. We really, right, it is that starting over, right? And I always say we're not starting over. We're starting from where we're at today. Right? I'm starting with the knowledge and experience that I gained from going through those instances, from those events. And so, wait a second, y'all. I don't have any moderators on right now today, so we got to do the moderating. I'm gonna block this person. And Barbie, you are here very often. If you don't mind being a moderator, I can make you a moderator. That would be great. Just let me know. We usually have a couple moderators on, but our schedule has been a little bit off. But anywho, back to the testimony. We were really down about this last relationship because, again, we had established ourselves. Great day, blessings. Thank you guys so much for tapping in. Oh, thank you, Barbie. I appreciate you for helping out. But we were really down and we were like, damn, that was a hard hit. When I say like boom, like shit, we worked so hard to get to this position and then met a person and oh, feel like this is gonna be it's permanent, and we sold everything and transitioned to the relationship. All the assets and everything went into that, and when it fell apart, it was things that we did not do to protect self because we were trusting another person. We didn't put a prenup agreement in place. We didn't write up, contracts between one another to make sure that your assets are safe. So when we bought property, the way that we did it was best beneficial at the time, but we got screwed in the end, and we're fighting still this battle to recover from that. So anytime I think about that one thing and be like, damn, if we had to did it differently, if we had to listen to spirit, if we had to put these things in place to protect ourselves first, it would be a different day. And then when my mother-in-law said exponentiated value through writing off the loss, I was like, shit, that makes perfect sense. Because a lot of businesses, when they take a loss on something or like things didn't plan out, they got, something that needs to be resolved from the past. I don't know. Maybe they had too much material that they couldn't sell. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to sell it or contract it or subcontract and get rid of it some sort of way, they may just dump it. They may just trash it and then write off that dumping or trashing as a loss. And then they get a certain tax benefit, a tax break for writing off the loss. I was like, shit. And then Spirit was saying exponentiated value through writing off the loss. And it just helped me feel so much better in that moment. I don't know why it did. Like, why that was the thing that we needed to hear. Because it was like, it's already done. The only thing that we have laying around is the emotion, which we could, throw that to waste management, essentially trash it, right? But there is a way to write that perceived loss off and get the value, the benefit of it. So I don't know if that's helpful to somebody, because we always talk about the self as the business. We look at ourself as a business, as an organization. We are the CEO of us. Everybody talk about stand on business, but if you have that mindset to stand on business, then you probably should treat yourself as such. Treat yourself, your assets, your property, everything that you do in your world. Think about it as a part of the business, and how do you operate from a business focused, abundant mindset. Sometimes in relationships, we don't put in protections because we feel like we can trust the person, and you end up getting screwed. And that's a part of what happened to me. Like, that's my testimony. But it's not different from a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I'm getting married, and I have this, he has that, we're gonna come together, I sell my stuff, we pull our money together, we get into the house. But shit don't always go the right route. See, things blow up. Tower moment. It don't always work out the way that you think it should, so you should have some sort of protection in place for you. And this is also true for the other way around. Relationships don't always fall apart because people break up. If something, divine intervention comes, a person could transition, they could pass, so you always want to make sure that you are setting things up in a way that you are protected in the event your partner goes away. So take it how it resonates. Hey Jesus, thank you so much for tapping in. I appreciate you. If you guys are able to get through, yes, you always want to get a prenup. Tú eres un hombre. I am, no. No, por favor, no. Justice. Don't let anything come in and interrupt your energy. I mean, people obviously cannot discern reality in these days. You know what I'm saying? It's very hard and difficult to discern reality. We just kind of talked about, you know, this question that Jesus threw out there, and I usually don't get offended by it. I really don't. Tu eres un hombre, no señor, señorita. Yo, I am a mujer. Okay? So we got a Tower moment, Knight of Wands, Justice, and Two of Wands. So the tower moment came spontaneously, something that just erupted. A tower moment is already something that's like divine intervention, and it comes as a shock. It comes out of nowhere. But the Knight of Wands on top of that means that you may have to move quickly to do something. Like it just be like boom, right? It happens. And then it's to make something right. Justice, to balance something out. It could be the Most High God coming in to balance something out, which is the purpose of the tower, to make somebody move quickly or push you, remove a blockage or obstacle that's keeping you from moving forward or something like that. Or I don't know. Whatever this tower moment is definitely going to cause you to have to move very fast, and it's gonna be very, very sudden. It's almost giving double sudden, like shit. It's giving a pants on fire shit, holy shit, like inferno. And it's justice and balance to something. Or whatever this is going to work well for you, and it's going to help you make plans going towards something new. Which is why I'm kind of getting that channel message that the spirit told us was to write off the loss, right? Yeah, you went through it, shit blew up, right? But at the same time, you have to write off that loss. If you perceive it to be a loss, then you will feel it as a loss. You will carry loss with you. But if you write off the loss and understand that writing off that loss and letting it go also holds value, then you can make new plans and you can do things different to protect you. Right, Ten of Wands. If you hold it as a loss, you could struggle with it because you carry that loss. But if you let it go and you write off the loss, you release the struggle. So release the struggle. The tower moment may have came to release somebody from some sort of struggle. It could have been struggle love, a struggle relationship, some ride or die type shit with this motherfucking Knight of Wands. Sometimes it be like that. Like Knight of Wands give, for some reason I heard ride or die type of energy. And we don't do ride or die type of relationships. I need you to be my ride or die. Absolutely not. Fuck that. Empress. See, we don't do ride or die relationships. Empress not doing ride or die. What? No. I sit, I chill, I attract. It's not like I'm doing nothing. I am an amplifying agent. I'm a magnifier. Not only do I come in with my own value, because Empress Divine Feminine is all four queens. Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, and Queen of Wands. So not only is she confident, she's fruitful, she's loving, and she's intelligent. So she's an amplifier, she's a creator, she's a manifester. And she comes with these gifts where you could take the rubble of anything that you have gone through and you could recreate it, you could recombinate it, you could break it down back to its bare minimal, the particles, and have it come out into something new. You know how to change it. You could do it for you. So if you are this type of person, in general, masculine, feminine, it doesn't matter. The energy of the Empress is energy. It is not gender related. So if you have this talent to create and to manifest, and you could do it with ease and grace, one, whatever you think that you lost, write that shit off, because you could get it back again. You create out of yourself, right? So you bring the value. Your value that you bring is that you are a creator. You are a manifester. You can use your spiritual gifts to bring forth whatever you want, beloved. See, Queen of Swords, you're intelligent. We literally just ran down all her four queens, her attributes. Your intelligence allows you to recreate, to bounce back, to do it again. A lot of people will try to fuck you over, even in some contracts and shit, because they kind of scammy or scabby or whatever the case may be. But you being who you are, you can get that shit back times 3, is what I heard. Whatever you think you lost, you can recreate it. You can get it back times 3. That's why Spirit said it's an exponentiated value through the action of writing off your losses. Treat yourself like the business. You're not going to let anybody come in and just fuck with your shit. A business, at very minimum, they got security. You walk in, it's secure. You got cameras, you got monitoring, you got people that are watching out for you. So your spirit team is behind the scenes watching out for you, and you need to engage with them to make sure that they are in place, right? You are thinking about your next move, your present, your future. Every decision that you make right now is setting up for your future. So when you plan and going forward, you know to protect yourself from, because you went through the shit from the past. Queen of Swords, you have experience. You've been battle tested. You smart and you know better. So when you know better, you do better going forward. Write that shit off. Give it to the spirit, the accountant, the reconciler, that who balances the scale. Write it off. You're going to get some exponentiated value through writing off those past losses. Somebody got money on the books because they are not taking advantage of all of their benefits. It's like going to an accountant when you're a business owner and you get a business accountant and they can show you, no, you keep, every time you go to a fucking a lunch, talk about something about your business, give them a business card, keep the receipt, you write the date and time or something like that, or whoever you met with those little qualifiers, you keep the receipt, you put it in an envelope. At the end of the year, tax year, you got all this shit you could write the fuck off. Are you leaving shit on the table because you just like, oh, I just gotta hold on to this trash, when the spirit said, no, you could dispose of that shit and fucking write off the value and still get a benefit? And for somebody, it's gonna be exponentiated. Look, quick decision making. Somebody finna run and do that shit. Run to the spirit and be like, look, here is this and this and that. I felt like I took a loss here, I took a loss there, I took a loss, and spirit might start bringing back shit to you. Oh yeah, that was one, remember that, remember this, put all that shit on the list, and at the top of your list put write it off in blue ink, put it in the flow, write all of this shit off, write it off. And even you, if you don't do one, yeah, for some reason I'm getting like some sort of value. So if you put in 10K in this, 10K in that, if you put in, oh, I bought this, I spent 5 years in this relationship, put the value and cross it off, write it off. Give it to the spirit so that they can return your benefit, your tax benefit. That's what I'm getting. Look, you would be surprised. Let the spirit shock you and show you the benefit of writing off the losses and things that you think that you just got to live with or hold on to. It didn't serve me no good. I didn't get no benefit from going through that. It was a whole waste of time. I lost this energy, I lost this money, this emotions and all that shit. Spirit said, do you know you get a tax write-off or you get a benefit for that? Shit blew my mind, y'all. I had never thought about doing it like that. I was literally talking to my bro. Like, I definitely feel like I'm still carrying around this thing because it was the time where I felt like this was going to be it. It was going to be solid. It was going to be stable. I trusted this person. No, I don't need no prenup. No, we don't need to do an arrangement. No, we don't need to write all of this stuff out. And, you know, but this person turned around and fucked me, y'all. When I say, dude, a $700,000 value, okay? So when I look back on that phase of life, you think I don't be salty as fuck about it? I was telling my brother yesterday, I could kick my own ass. Like, every time I think about it, I could fuck myself up. I could go in there and fight me. So you know I'm fighting in a spirit, spiritually conflicted, heart still hurt. How the hell did you do that? You know better. Why didn't you put something in place? Why did you trust this person like this? Why? Because they were really convincing and saying that they weren't going to do it? Because you love them and you know, you trusted them more than your own common sense? So yeah, I was pretty fucking pissed. But the good thing about it is that we do keep pretty good records. It was a lot of conversation that alluded to the fact that this was community property and that we had interest. So we have enough, to pull together in terms of evidence to show that we have a claim here. There's a claim here. So different court systems have different rules, right? Like some people be feeling like, oh, it's beyond a shadow of a doubt or reasonable doubt. That's criminal law. You know what I mean? A lot of civil law, you can use a lot, not just circumstantial evidence, but you could have enough to show intention. You can have enough to show that there was agreement, whether it was verbal or written. And if you could find something from this person's old words, whether it's text messages, emails, whatever the case may be, you may have a way to stake a claim to your property. So if you got caught up in a situation such as I, without any prenuptial agreement before going, and I don't care, people be like, prenups is for the rich. No, the fuck it's not. No, it's not. It's for anybody. A prenup is for any and everybody that's entering into a relationship. And if they tell you, if I gotta sign a prenup because, this, that, and the other, then I'm not into it, then they probably not the person that you should marry. I'm just saying, everybody got their own feelings on the shit. But relationships are not going to last forever. Somebody is going to either leave the relationship or transition away from the relationship. It's always till death do you part. And you never know when a person's time is up. You don't want somebody else's family member coming in trying to do this and do that because y'all did not make arrangements in advance. People need to have the ability to have the hard conversations with. If I can't sit down and talk to you about, in a marriage, you are partners on everything. You are partners in the household. You're partners in employment and finance. You are legally obligated to one another. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't have the hard conversations, then that's probably not the person that you should marry. What will happen to the kids if something happens to you or to I? You know what I mean? Like if the marriage doesn't work out, how do we split the assets? Let's lay all of it out because everybody will tell you that they it's gonna be an amicable divorce. We already know what it is. I know what you did for me. I know how you helped me. I know how you support me. You know what I mean? Like how we got here together and we built all of this for 5-10 years before we even fucking got married or some shit like that. So I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna honor you. And that shit may not come true. That shit flip when you get down the road to whichever way it is, especially if it's divorce, because come on, let's keep it real. How high is the divorce rate? Like, that's a reality. You don't go into it thinking that you're going to get a divorce. A lot of times people run into a fucking narcissist or a person who don't show their true self or their face until you get married or till you stuck in a relationship, till you have a kid with this person. Sometimes agreements need to be codified. So if you fuck around and do some shit that's outside of our agreement and the relationship is over, you got to hold up to the end of your bargain. And a lot of people are getting karma because they broke spiritual contracts. They broke either if you make a legal contract, you also made a spiritual contract because your word is tied to your spirit. The word that you speak out your mouth is tied to your spirit. So you made a spiritual contract, whether it was legal or not. And the spirit is coming through, breaking and closing and calling these contracts due. So whether or not you had a prenup the first time, whether or not you feel like you can get the money back, your inheritance back, your property back, your asset back, do whatever you need to do to get justice for yourself. But if it doesn't even come through that way, the spirit will restore you. It will come through in another way. But what you need to do is to learn the lesson and to make sure that you are playing it Two of Wands for you. Self-preservation. Don't put everything in your beliefs and trust in other people ahead of yourself where you don't do what you have your security things in place. If you the business, you got to have security. See, it's money, property, and assets and shit. And it's too much that you have within and that you can create the value of it not to protect it, not to plan to protect it, to make sure shit be right. At this point, I don't trust a motherfucker that tell me they won't sign a prenup for what? Why? If we ain't got a lot of assets, does it matter? And if we do, then you should understand the principle. I'm just saying. A prenup is on the table. Oh, yes, Sunless. Sunless says this resonates. They had relatives that were having issues splitting family assets that are inherited. Yeah, between the debts and the value of it. Yeah. Yeah, work. Money. You work too motherfucking hard for your abundance, for your coin. If you the business, you getting that shit down to a science. You dedicated, you committed, you loyal, you be grinding, hustling and shit. And I don't care how much you think you got. Protect your property, protect your assets, protect your finances. Cause that's again allowing that shit to sit in somebody else's hands, thinking that they gonna do right by you. These people will fucking betray you and all that shit. These people out here don't got love like that. They don't. If you think they love you more than they love themselves, you wrong. If you think they love you more than they love themselves, you wrong. You wrong. You wrong. Better recognize Six of Wands. You wrong. You will see that shit. These people, look, Spirit said, learn this, see this, get this, study on this. If you think these people love you more than they love themselves and they'll protect you and do right by you, they do not. They will fuck over you. I don't know how many years we've been battling this shit because this person, what we had, they could not have got it without our partnership. And get in there and claim everything for their fucking self and rob me out of 700K. You don't think I want to throw up and beat my own ass every time I think about that shit, Ashe? Fuck yeah, I do. Everything I worked for in my whole goddamn lifetime? Protect you. Hell. Spirit also said 10 swords, which is that betrayal. They wrote down, they put field and screen all cause represent you. They told us like a representation, a representative. Now, I'm not going on that fake ass shit where it be like, you meet my representative at first when we're dating, and then it's like, oh, that's not me, it's not real. No, they gave it to us in a whole different scenario. Check this out. You know how you call somebody company? Do you get to the CEO on the first call? No. You a mom and pop shop and you playing every fucking role, then yes, But if this is a corporation, you fucking call a business, you don't get to the CEO on the first call. They got customer service. They got somebody at the desk that's answering and fielding calls. So they told us this. You need to have a version of yourself that is your representative with certain people. Especially if you telling this person the same shit over and over again, you're not going to keep having that same conversation. We've been talking all week about being done explaining. Right? I'm not going to keep telling you the same shit. We out. We out. We got shit on the calendar. On my Palm Pilot says, I'm not re-talking about that shit again that I already done said to you 3-4 weeks ago. Nope, not doing it. So, they had this whole persona, y'all. It was hilarious in the head the way the Spirit did it. It was like, hello, thank you for calling Lati LLC. How may we help the week? And then it was like, oh, this is such and such, so and so, and it's somebody that that you done had multiple conversations with before, put in your boundary, put in all of your restrictions and all of this shit, and they still calling you to ask the same question, and you done explaining. Lati is out for the afternoon, but she did ask me to let you know. She left notes on your file, Mr. Smith or Miss Smith or whoever, I'm trying to think of a name, that you guys last spoke, and this was the advice that she gave. The boundary is set, and she has no further status for you at this time. If anything changes, she'll give you a call back. Click. I was like, damn, you talking about fielding a call? I ain't got nothing else to say to you. The last thing I said to you was the last thing I said to you, and that shit has not changed. Because people will call you with the same shit thinking that you're going to change your mind, beloved, but don't. Stick to your guns. I just called to see if you changed your mind on that thing. No, that thing is still that thing. What it was is what I said, and that's it. What we got? See? Silent treatment. Fielding calls. Talk to you for what? About the same shit, the shit that I already told you. You don't want to sign that prenup? Nothing else to talk about. The same status is still the same damn status. I just want to know if we could talk about it for what? I already said what I said. It's not gonna change. But if something do change, I'll let you know. You know? Keep calling me every day on the same damn shit, asking me if it's something different. No, it's the same shit. See, lack of support. You don't want to support the prenup to protect you first, to protect me, right? Then what the fuck is it else to talk about? That's the boundary. So treat yourself again like the business. Protect yourself, protect your assets. Don't let anybody just try to bulldoze you into doing some shit that you don't want to fucking do, where you don't protect you. What that say? See, out of a lack of trust. I don't. Okay, I trust the spirit. When the spirit say protect yourself and protect your assets and everything that you worked for, that's what I'm gonna do, I say. And I'm gonna trust my spirit over myself and other people's. You know what I'm saying? And everybody else. Because this right here could be deceived by this right here, which could be deceived. So if my spirit said, do this, not what you feel right here, not what you feel right here, do what's right here in this gut, that first man said, do this to what? Then I'm going to do that. Because when I didn't do it, I took a loss. I took a L, a lesson. That loss turning is being written off so I can get the value out. Now I get the lesson to don't do that shit like that no more. Because the Most High God is the one that gave us those lessons. They gave us the ability to work and serve, to accumulate, to invest. And then you take it and you invest it with a person who's saying they're going to hold your best interest, and you don't put anything in place to protect yourself. You're trusting them over yourself and your spirit. Don't do it. Even if they say they're going to be good to you, they're going to hold you, they're going to protect you, they're going to cover you, they're going to keep you up underneath their wing and all this shit, you my rib and all that. Great, I believe you. But that doesn't mean that we don't plan to protect ourselves. Right? See, refusing to listen. I know I did. I didn't trust my spirit. I was at war within myself mentally, right? Did not know whether or not I should, yeah, look, infidelity. See? Infidelity. And ours wasn't, not that I know that it was a third party cheating, like sleeping with another person, being, sexually engaging with other people, but it was a third party. And the third party was a family member of theirs in their ego, their alter ego, their true persona. Because this person had some shit, it wasn't right. I still say that they fall under the characteristics of a narcissist. I can't diagnose shit. I'm not a psychiatrist or a therapist. I'm just saying, when you look at all the motherfucking characteristics and you check them bitches off, you line it, look, 9 out of 10, 13 out of 10, you know what I'm saying, that type of shit. So glad that shit had came to an end. But if I had a knew now what I know then, I would have followed my gut. We sitting there, let's just go get married today. You talking about some wild ass shit. Like, damn, what? Yeah, I just want to do it today. You want to go down to the county and just get, I already looked everything up, let's just go do it. Oh shit, that's so romantical. He called me on a lunch break, go get married today, let's do it. No, nothing, just spontaneous. Just jumped up and did it. Was such a shock. We didn't put no provisions in place. And I'm sitting there in the county and my spirit is talking to me. And it's saying, send him a text message about what we're going to do at the house. Because you already gifted him money to buy the house. All of your property and your interest has been put into the relationship and setting us up, whether it was rental property, whether it was furniture and clothes for the kids, his kids, whether it was, putting a down payment on the house, whether it was paying all the bills so that his economic and financial outlook needed to look like, so he could qualify and fucking finish the mortgage paperwork. He would not have been able to do it without me, period. Right? We had to do it together. And I'm thinking this is longevity. And here it is. We're getting married. Yes, see, I told you everything was going to work out. Spirit, see, look, it's happening. Spirit said, send them a text message real quick and say, this is what happens in the event of a divorce, a breakup, any of that, infidelity, another interest coming in. We didn't do it. Didn't do it. Did not do it. Did not. I was so in my head, like, why didn't you do it? It would have took you 5 minutes to say this is what it is in the event we get divorced or shit go wrong. I did not know at the time that he had this personality type, that his PTSD was so bad that he was going to become increasingly verbally and emotionally and eventually physically and sexually violent. I did not know that the way that it was going to go. That the third party in that relationship, not only was it mental illness, but it was influence of other people. So everything that we invested in a relationship thinking that everything was going to be great is permanent. Yay, we got married. We did it. I'm safe. I'm secure. In a state like California where spousal rights are protected, you can't just divorce me and take everything from me. But he did. He did. 700K. Gone in the wind. And I have no idea where he is today. Absconded all of the proceeds, all of the profits, and got in the wind, and I have no idea where he is. So that's where we stuck at. And every time I think about that scenario and what happened, I kick my own ass. I would beat myself up like, you should have protected yourself. You were sitting there and Spirit was telling you to send this text message. Spirit was telling you, put some of this money over here. Put some of this money over there. Put something somewhere so you will be okay. Exactly, blessings. In California, you shouldn't. When I heard he was selling the property, I filed in court to stop it. I filed with the county to show that I'm spousal and my rights are to be protected. I did it. And I don't know if I'm not a lawyer, but I'm using all the right language and doing what I'm supposed to do. So what happened is that it's told and filed in court that the assets from the property is put in an escrow account and it cannot be touched until everything is settled and there's a judgment. So if that be true, then even if he has left the scene and fled and we can't get in touch with him, the property and the proceeds should be safe. And if it's not true, then that's the third instance of perjury and malicious breach of contract, malicious fiduciary breach of contract, then I can, take more legal action on. But you talking about a battle? You talking about a battle? Because I refuse. I refuse to let this person do what they did to me on top of everything and take away the foundation of our legacy. I've been working on my own since I was like 10, 11 years old. Started off babysitting and shit. Worked fast foods, 2 jobs at a time, from fucking welding and scrubbing toilets and, mopping floors and all of that shit to get to where I'm at. Went to college with 2 kids. Like, we did what we needed to do to become fruitful. Bust our ass like a lot of people do. And you invest in shit thinking that it's going to be permanent for a person to be lying, deceiving, gaslighting, love bombing, only to get what you got. There's no way we could have got that property if I did not help it. It took a 2-person thing to make it, to do it. And even in other relationships, men will be like, well, I built this business, you were at home. But she sacrificed career, she sacrificed her own growth, she sacrificed the value that she could have put forth to grow for herself in order for you to grow, for you to excel. That is the sacrifice that people make in relationships. So don't undercount your value and what you contributed. And if you feel like you took a loss in this, I told you we was beating our own ass like shit if we had not did that. If we could have turned our house into an Airbnb. This back in 2019. 2019, look how much value that would have been. You talking about a 5-bedroom, 3-bedroom house, 2,600 square feet. We would have been able to Airbnb that bitch out. How much per room? How much income could that have generated? And that's what the spirit was putting on us. But instead of doing that for self orientated, we put it into family, into relationship, and got screwed out of it. So going forward, we know prenup, protection, think about yourself. It does not matter if you feel like you got hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you feel like we don't need to do that. We both coming in with nothing. Well, what happens when you guys work together and you accumulate something, you grow something? People are very different when they struggling and hustling to when they actually make it and they actually get it. Some people get grandiose, they get the big head, they become egocentric. And I'm not just saying just masculines, but feminines too, right? Now she big boss energy, and she think that she can go out and replace the hubby that's been holding her down or helping her, because other people out here in the world is giving her attention, and she thinks she can go get something better, something different. It don't always work like that, but even if it do, that's your business. But it's on to each person to protect themselves and protect their own interests. It's a community thing, but it's a self-love thing to protect you first, sweet. Protect your interests. Lay it out. And if people cannot come together over that and be like, I understand how this makes sense, how it's protected for you, for me, for the family, for all of us, let's, think about it and do something that's going to be good and fair and equitable or something like that, then, to, I don't know, don't trust a person over your own intuition. Never trust anybody over your own intuition. Yeah, says she walked away with all of the debt because the bills were in her name, but none of the businesses. So she walked away with all liability and no profit. How many times do you walk away bearing the fucking brunt of the weight? And not to say nothing against, like I said, this is not a sexuality thing. It's not just bras against women, because it's women that leave relationships and leave men to be single fathers and having to take care of the shit. It's a people thing. It's a people thing. Cheaters are not just women. They're not just men. Infidelity happens. All of this shit happens on both sides of the fence. So it's not no war against the sexes. It's about you protecting yourself, beloved. Because you never know what's really going on behind the scenes with the person. You will spend a lifetime getting to know a person. You just same way you spend a lifetime getting to know yourself. So if you know that you don't even know you all the way, then you don't know that person all the way. Like, seriously, it's so many things to be discovered. You should know them or feel like you have enough comfortability and discernment and peace in the spirit to be like, yes, it's a great investment. This is a person that I want to invest with and spend the rest of my life with. But that doesn't mean that you discount self. That doesn't mean that you don't protect your own interests and everything that you worked for and developed up until this day. What's going to happen if the relationship goes away? Because it will go away. 100% for certain, your relationship will come apart, either because of some other reason why one person left, or it's going to be till death do you part, beloved. It's in the contract that is temporary. It's never permanent. So don't take a stance where I don't need to put in protections and provisions for self. If you the business, then you need to protect yourself, right? That's just it. So don't sleep on you. right? Like lions, whoever that's so super tired, you know what I mean? Don't sleep on you and don't sleep on what other people will do to you or against you. The divorce rate is not 70 something, damn near 80% for nothing. And if you think that you don't need to protect yourself, then you can learn a very expensive lesson. A very expensive lesson. Anything else, Spirit? Yes. Pick this up. They said pick this up, and we're going to get some advice. Overbearing behavior. So I don't know if somebody is going to be calling you and to see if your position or there's an update, a status on something. Did you change your policy? Did you change your position, your mindset on this thing? It's going to be like, no, it's still the same. And, some people, you not get your representative. Like Emperor, you the fucking business. Right? It could be a masculine because we just picked up the Empress and here's the Emperor. Right? Stand in your authority. Shit. What's the status? The last thing I told you, if there's an update, I'll give you a call. There's nothing further right now. There's been no news. There's no movement. There's nothing. That's what it's given. Right? So in partnerships, right? See, everything that we just said. This could definitely be a masculine that the Empress was in relationship with, Two of Cups, right? Hey, Lions, thank you so much for being so active in the comments. I appreciate you boosting the activity on the channel and helping us get the messages out there. You are a rock star today. You are awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Three of Wands. Somebody is patiently waiting for something. Somebody's looking for something. They're looking for a status on something. They're going to call you or reach out to you because they're waiting for something from you, from you, some sort of status. And Five of Wands is coming out to say it's a conflict, it's a battle, it's a battle. I thank you so much for your compliment. Yes, the spirit is amazing. They be bringing these messages. What up, y'all? Sweet, what it do? It's your girl Lottie here at Tears of Week Tarot Show, where you show enough, never know what you're gonna get. Spirit said this person used to be in connection with, that you used to be connected to. Yeah, they're waiting for something from you, and they want to bring in a conflict. It's a problem. It's a challenge. They want to argue about something. High Priestess. So the spirit may be pulling your coattail. This person could even be struggling secretly within. They may not be saying something, but it's almost giving like the spirit is speaking. Somebody's intuition is speaking. The spirit may be bringing you a message, like it's a phone call, it's a communication, it's something coming to watch out for it, and it's going to bring in some conflict, which is why you need to field and screen all your calls, beloved. Why you need to have that representative to be like, oh no, she's not in today, she's not taking any calls. Oh, is this Mr. Smith again? Thank you so much for calling, Mr. Smith. Oh, you're still checking on the status? Well, they're saying that the status is the last time that they gave you a status. It hasn't changed, but if anything changes, they'll call you and let you know. But it's you telling them the same shit. Like, it's still the same. And then what did we say? Okay, we picking these cards up off the ground, right? Didn't we literally just say that Five of Wands and Three Wands is Eight Wands? I believe we said it. If we didn't say it, we definitely thought it. But I believe that we said it out loud. There's the Eight Wands. So something definitely could come in. Look, Seven of Swords. Lies, deceit, fuckery, treachery. It's some sort of strategy. This person could even be calling to connect to you to say something shit or looking out for you just so that, they could piss you off, cause you to make a mistake. It could be a part of the strategy of their own plan to take something from you, to remain on, to get away with something, Whatever they were doing could have also been revealed. You could learn that this person only connected to you to steal some shit from you. Look at this combo. The Emperor with the Seven of Swords to the Two of Cups. You could find out that a person only connected to you, Two of Cups, to steal some shit from you. Like they was on the take from the fucking beginning. And that's what I was saying, like for our thing, why are we getting married on a lunch break? Like on a whim, like right now? And instead of us being cautious about it and doing what the spirit told us to do, we was like, oh shit, this is so romantical. No, bitch, it's some shit going on behind that. What was the strategy? What is this person trying to get? Well, they rushing every goddamn thing. What is that? So that you don't think that you don't put shit in place to protect yourself, Ashe? Absolutely. Yeah, see, can you see that shit? Coming into a relationship simply to steal. They were probably a fucking thief in the first place. Whether it was an energy thief, a resource thief, whatever the fuck it was, they were trying to take something from you, we. Hermit is coming through. So I don't know if this person was searching or it's something with their spirit. Low vibrational. It's low vibrational dark energy. And within themselves, they were already thinking and knowing and searching out a person that they could take from. And so if you hook up with a person that got this type of mindset and you hit them with the, we need to come together and work on this prenup energy, oh shit, you're going to weed them out. I'm not signing no prenup. What, you don't trust me? No, not over my intuition. And then that's really gonna fuck them up. Because if you don't want to sign a prenup, then to me you can't be trusted. So no, I don't trust you. Then what the fuck is we getting married for? Why we in relationship? Why we in connection? If you don't have the mindset to protect your abundance and everything that you working for and put in some provisions like anybody else, you know what I'm saying, that's running a successful business, then don't get married. This is, look, magician, manipulators, warlocks and shit. And it's a lot of ones out here. This is a person that could definitely lean into sex magic. Like, it will get you with the ooh and think you supposed to just, be stupid or some shit. Be on some paid shit. Get you all up feeling young and giddy and naive. Fuck that. We protect your shit. You are the business. You bring the value. You are the organization. You know what I mean? Each one of us independently. You are an organism. So it's really easy to say I'm an organization. I'm the CEO of me. That's how I stand on business. 10 toes, strong ankles, ballerina. People be saying that shit. Ankles weak as fuck. Achilles heel is fucked. Right? 21, world card. Do something for me. In this next cycle, shit is going to be great. And Spirit is saying to cut the loss of this shit because you get a tax write-off. It's a benefit to writing off the loss. Don't sit with that in your spirit and beat your own self up the way that we were doing yesterday. Like, damn, every time I think about the loss of the future value on the investments that we made, that we have worked hard for, it makes me feel a kind of way. Spirit said, write off that loss, and exponentiated value from writing off that loss is going to come through. The Spirit is telling you it's going to come through. It's a door opening for you to return what you think you lost. And it's going to be an exponentiated value. It's going to be what you need to put you back in a position so that you can build back what you think you lost, beloved. Because sometimes the value of writing off the loss is greater than still trying to deal with it or hold on to it. That's the truth. That's the hidden truth. That's the hidden truth. Through the illusion, you will get the return. But the trick is to write off the loss. Don't carry it with you. Don't take it with you. If anything, you holding on to that waste depreciates your value. You know what I'm saying? But when you learn how to operate as a business while we standing on business, you got to have a business mindset and apply that shit to everything, because the way you do everything is the way you do anything. If you got a business mindset, then it's business. It's not personal, beloved. Shit. Why I want a prenup? Because it's business. Marriage is a contract. You file that shit with the state. Y'all got rights. You supposed to outline some shit before you go into it, because it's serious. Easy to get into, but hard as fuck to get out of. Get the feelings out the way. Exactly. Sometimes you look, they show Empress with the Queen of Sword energy with the Knight of Sword energy. So not only are you able to be in that Queen of that Empress, but you are smart, you are intelligent. She ain't got the feelings in the way. Her heart is on safety at that moment. This is business. Yeah, I love you. Yeah, I feel a kind of way. Yeah, I want to be with you. Yeah, we should make a go at this. Yes, we want to invest in the rest of our lives, beloved. What is that word? Invest. So if y'all not putting in no parameters to protect your investment, then you already missing part of the assignment. Don't let your feelings fuck up business and what it is supposed to be. Protect yourself, weed. Protect yourself. Shit. Anything else Spirit said? No, that's it. Protect your interests. Somebody finna call you though. Just to bring in some fucking conflict. And I see 8 and 8, that's 16. That's a tower moment. With these wands right here, that's what? 5 and 3 is 8. And 8 is 16. 16 is the tower. 16 is the tower. Somebody finna go through it. This shit is gonna come down because the spirit is already canceling, clearing, and deleting contracts. It's time for new contracts to be signed. It's time for a new cycle. And the Most High God, the magician, the grand magician, that which master and holds and controls every element, is opening up doorways for you. But one of the keys is to write those losses off so that you can get that exponentiated value. It's coming with you. But if you hold on to the loss, then you probably too heavy carrying around trash and bags and shit that you can't get through the door, you can't fit. I'm hearing Erykah Badu. Bag lady, you gon' hurt your back. Dragging round them bags like that. See, all you got to hold on to is you. And if you don't protect you, then who the fuck is going to? And the spirit built in your counselor, your wise advisor to tell you to protect you. So if you discounting your gut, your first man, you getting set up for a lesson. And it's only in due time. It's going to teach you to follow your first man. When they tell you to take care of you and make plans, a prenup to protect you for your future, then that's what you're supposed to do. Anything else in here? They say no. But they giving us one more though. What's that? See, death card. We got to go. Death card! See, and that's planning. Plan for transitions. Plan for the transition. No relationship is permanent. I wouldn't care if y'all been married for 55 years. It's till death do you part, and somebody's gonna transition. What do you do then? You thought it was gonna be forever, but infidelity came through. It could have been their ego, it could have been another person, it could have been a career, their job, their money, whatever the fuck broke up the relationship. It ended. Now what are you gonna do? Are you planning for the transitioning? And here's another thing that we own this, because I don't know if anybody, we just experienced this. Y'all know we on bereavement for my sister-in-law who has insurance. They planned for transitions. They did. But it's oftentimes there's a time space between when those insurance companies will pay out. It's paperwork, it's documentation, it's things that have to be done. Thank you so much for your condolences. So the services had to be paid in cash because the insurance policies is dragging their ass. Basically, the insurance company is dragging their ass. So in the meantime, in between time, the service has to be paid for. But that's not something you necessarily plan for. People think, oh, I got insurance, we got life insurance policies and all these things. So if anything happened to him or to me, then we're good. But if the insurance company is dragging their ass and your person needs to be, sent home, their celebration and all that stuff to be put together, you may want to plan to have something set aside in cash so that you can do that. Otherwise, you could be a person with insurance still trying to get a GoFundMe page or maxing out credit cards and taking on more debt that has to be paid, in order to put your person away. We are so grateful that we were able to leverage like they were able to do it. And it will come back on the back end. But there's a space between now and then. Thank y'all so much. for joining us here on this Here's the Week Tarot show, where you show enough never know what you're gonna get. We growing and we healing through this journey, and it's testimony to Tarot, beloved, so that we can move the pain to purpose. We all go through it. We all go through shit. Like, let's be real with it. And a person cannot love you more than they love they self, beloved. And it's something about you making sure you love yourself more than you love them. That way you don't take shit off of people and stay in places where you should not be at, where you're not leaving yourself out as a lack, where you're not covering your own interests just in case some shit happen, whether they transition back into the spirit or there's something get up their ass and a spirit reveals itself and they go run off and do something different. Either way, you are good, Ashe. So plan for you and your safety and your longevity at the end of the day. And don't forget that last little tidbit, to have something in cash if you can manage it. Start with the same principle. It doesn't matter if you make a lot of money, because some people feel like I only get this little bit and I don't have the capacity to put anything away. You can, if you just sit down and think about what is it that you need versus what you want, and is there any place for you to sacrifice something so that you could prepare, and be solid for whatever may come with. Even if that means like making a list of programs and stuff in your state to get aid so that you know where to go just in case you need it. So for some people, you get some sort of benefit, whether it's a couple of $100 here, a couple of $100 there. It's just good to be aware. And that's it. Awareness is everything. That is the purpose of being conscious in this day week. Like, seriously. Everybody want to say woke, but woke to what? That we still live in a reality and you still got to get through this journey? You still got to get through the journey. We still have to deal with one another. We still have to engage. We still playing the game. And even for those who decide to check out the game early by their own hand, then there's people behind you that still got to deal with that. Either way it go, transitions happen and relationships come to an end. I love you like I love the AO. They say, have a great day and make sure you're planning for yourself, Ashe. To the next now. This one's done. And remember this, the word lives, beloved. It lives in you. It lives in me. It lives and it's wrote on everything. And as we have the breath to breathe, we are animated in this day, and your word is moving on the breath, and it will manifest, Ashe. So watch what you say. And be conscious of what you don't say, because those unspoken, unwritten words could bite you in the ass at the end of the day. Y'all done? Anything else? No? I hear it. I do. I hear it. I hear it. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. Ha. Thank y'all for tapping in. Evan, thank you so much. Miss Sonia, thank you so much for tapping in. I appreciate you. Atonia, thank you so much. Thank y'all for listening to the testimony. I appreciate each and every one of you. Sun Sis, thank you so much. UK 007007, thank you so much for being here. Loving my boys, thank you so much for being here. Dragon Donic, I think is what it says. Thank you so much. I appreciate the compliment. That was awesome of you. I hope you have a great day. Blessings. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate y'all. Robert. Yes, I love it for your comment. Men marry for love and women marry for benefits. I think that most people marry for benefits. I think that's a two-way street. Like, you don't do anything if it's not benefiting you in some sort of way. Like, it's either an emotional or spiritual benefit, a physical, financial benefit, mental benefit. It's something that you're getting from it. You don't do anything for no reason, beloved. Like, oh, that made me feel like shit, but I'm gonna just do it anyway. No, you're getting some sort of benefit from it, right? And what people benefit in relationships is different. It's based on the dynamics of their relationship. Some men want a woman that stays at home and who has that, what they pseudo call traditional type of role, just take care of the home and the children and him, and he benefits from being cared for in that capacity. He doesn't have to pay for cleaning, he doesn't have to pay for daycare, he doesn't have to, they split that cost because she sacrifices her career and her time and development in order to do that, to take care of home. And some men do the same thing. If the woman is more successful, then he may stay home with the kids. It's all about how you define your relationship. It doesn't have to be, what everybody tell you it is. Like the man is the financier. But no, a lot of times the woman is a person that takes care of all the bills. Like was saying, like all the bills were in her name. She's the home manager. Oh, I just bring in the paycheck. Well, who you think schedules all the bills and make sure that we have toilet paper, and who's taking care of inventory, who's, doing the clothes shopping and grocery and all that stuff. That's labor, right? It's a sacrifice. So it's all about what you decide in your relationship as the dynamics, and both people benefit from it. It's never just one way. And even if you don't feel like that, you learned a lot from that relationship at the end of the day, which is a benefit. Hey, Barbie, what up, Unique Healer? Coach Unique is in the house. Thank y'all so much for being here. We just mentioned the sis she is. Thank you so much. Everybody give a round of applause to Lions Goo, who gave us so much entertainment in today's message. Very active. I appreciate you for coming through and bigging up the channel. You're amazing. Evan, Rock Evan, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate y'all. I just have to shout y'all out just to say thank you and give you my gratitude. It's been a tough 3 weeks as we've been on bereavement, and you guys have been so flexible with how we're bringing the message and things like that. No, blessings, I did not file a police report. Well, the police was engaged, so much in that relationship because it had turned really violent. But in terms of him absconding and, robbing the assets, it's in family court. So I didn't think to file a police report to figure out, like, where he is. I don't know if I qualify to do a missing persons report. I don't know. I thought about doing, like, a private investigator, but I'm just, following the process as best that I know. Yeah, and some of those life lessons are hard. They are. And sometimes, it's one of those things where, again, you write off the loss because you cannot recover what was taken or what was stolen. But I feel like when you write off the loss, the spirit brings you that benefit of writing off the loss. Because just like in business, right, there's a tax benefit to writing off the losses. If a person, their credit card is closed and the person didn't pay it, right? The company writes that loss off. Medical bills unpaid, they write that account off. If they can recover funds, then that's great. But they have a mechanism to write off the loss and get a tax benefit because they wrote off the loss. And that's what we were picking up for us, So if you feel like you went through one of those things and you're carrying around that lost energy, write off the loss so that the spirit can give you the benefit for the write-off, beloved. Your story can and will be rewritten. I love y'all. Got to go to the next now, y'all. Ashe. Mwah. Ain't no stopping us now.